Up for the first time in nearly 2 weeks. Whistle blows. Here we go from Heritage Bank Center. The puck is dropped, and we are underway. Puck sent over the near side. Ryan Kerwin dashes into the zone. Backhanded shot steered aside there by Koskinvo. First save of the night for him. Ben King back in the lineup. Kicks it over to Felton, who shoots. Punched away by Koskinvo. First 2 shots belong to the Clones. You want the Cyclones to come out very aggressive. Cyclones felt like they were passive in the first period against K-Wings just a few nights ago at the Wings Event Center. Cincinnati felt that they were chasing the whole way, and now here we find ourselves, Cincinnati wanting to put their best foot forward here early on.
Now, you come in with some more rest. 2 shots within the first 30 seconds of the game. That's exactly what you want to see. A quick attack against Kalamazoo.
For Koskinvo, this is his 21st appearance of the year. Record of 10-0. 906 save percentage, 1 shutout to his credit in his rookie season. You have a netminder playing his first few games as a pro against a netminder with 10 years of professional hockey under his belt. But if you ask both coaches, this is who you want right now. It's do or die. Right now, Koskinvo, the hot hand for the K-Wings. And for Cincinnati, we've already said everything there needs to be said about Ken Appleby and the way he's been playing lately as he steers it over to John Jaworski. Saucered over Ludke. Backhanded feed. Goes off the stick of Rion. Clones back in the O-zone, but not for long. Quinn Preston, he was the hero last Sunday afternoon. Scored the game-winning goal there on that turnover. That unfortunately went against the Cyclones. Now Ludke sends it through. They say it was untouched, so an early icing here against the Clones. Not even a minute and a half into this first period.
And for Cincinnati, you touched on Quinn Preston. Limiting him is a big thing. He scored last game. 15 points in 10 games versus Cincinnati this season. So just how Ryan Kerwin has been dangerous against the K-Wings, Quinn Preston has been dangerous against Cincinnati. So somebody you have to always be mindful of if you're the Clones.
Spoke to head coach Riley Wazlowski. For him, it's the matchup game. Wants to make sure that he puts his best foot forward when it comes to some of the line combinations that the Cyclones have. Of course, getting players like Sam Stevens and Ben King, as well as Christian Felton, helps a lot. But on the other end, you're without Elijah Vilio. You're without Aaron Bollinger. The Cyclones right now just trying to find ways to get chemistry and get it in a hurry. Felton and King just arrived yesterday.
Yeah, and you got Mitchell Wolf in there as well. He's paired with Curtis Henry as that third pairing for the defenseman group. So just plugging guys in because he trusts that these guys can get the job done without a Vilio or a Bollinger.
Pressure here in the near side corner, sent to the middle, and a quick goal for Walker. And there is the first blow of the game. K-Wings on top early. Miscue deep in the zone, turns into a chance in front. Wide open in front was Walker. K-Wings 1-0.
Yeah, the K-Wings, just like the Cyclones, want to control the pace of the game. And at that time, they were able to find an open Nolan Walker right in front, right into the dangerous part of the ice, and he was able to pawn it home to put the K-Wings up first.
Nolan Walker, 47 points on the campaign now, his 20th goal of the year. And right now his most important, as he gives Kalamazoo a very early lead just on their second shot on goal.
Now for Cincinnati, you're tasked with responding. Had good energy to open up this game. Those 2 shots by Felton and Kerwin less than 30 seconds into it. So you want to see that burst and that style of desperate hockey play, wanting to look like the team that needs this game the most to counter that Kalamazoo goal.
Felton shoots. Former K-Wing himself. Found himself playing for Abbotsford for a couple of weeks. Was bouncing in and out of the lineup when he was in the American Hockey League. Even playing forward for a few games while with the Abbotsford Canucks. Finds himself back in Cincinnati playing against some of his former teammates as now is a chance here for the K-Wings. Right back into the O-zone. Walker fresh off a score his 20th of the year. Steers it low to the middle. Glove save on Sackerman there by Appleby. It was nearly 2-0 Kalamazoo. Now Pennington receives. He shoots. Glove save, Appleby. And right now, Ken Appleby with 2 large saves in what has been a slow start for Cincinnati.
Yeah, they had that rapid start just moments into this game, and since then Kalamazoo's kind of had that momentum tilt over to their side, getting some good chances in the slot. Cincinnati trying to maybe use some of that stick detail that they've shown to be skilled with to their advantage and separate Kalamazoo from the puck so they can disrupt the K-Wings offensive rhythm and Cincinnati can focus on some offense of their own.
Now that has been a trend these last few weeks. Ken Appleby having to be very sharp in the first few minutes of games until Cincinnati could find their bearings offensively. Unfortunately, it stung them early on here as they have a 1-0 deficit. Now Lee rims it around. Still plenty of time to go. But blowing a tire is Lundke. And driving forward was Doherty as he chips it into the Cincinnati zone. Smolinski plays it up to Kerwin. Stretch feed. Stevens gains the line. Loses the puck. And it's a 2-on-2 the other way. Turns into a 2-on-3 as it's a penalty against Ryan Kerwin. Doherty goes down all fours and a slash against Cincinnati's most dangerous offensive player will give the K-Wings the first power play of the game. Nightmare start here for Cincinnati.
Yeah, Kerwin just trying to make a play there from behind, jar the puck free on Doherty, and he ends up getting penalized. And Kerwin, somebody that doesn't go to the box very often, just 12 penalty minutes this season for him heading into this game. So unusual to see him go to the sin bin, but he does. Trying to make a nice play on a back check, and now Cincinnati on the kill for the first time.
This is a Kalamazoo team with a power play success rate of 19.5 this year. They go to work for the first time tonight. Cross-ice feed to Bielik, who is back in the lineup after serving a 1-game suspension. One of the most dangerous players for the K-Wings all year long, leading goal scorer right now. They get him back when they need him most, as Preston dashes through the blue line. Kalamazoo sets up shop in the Cincinnati zone. 1.5 minutes to go on the power play. Fed back to the point. Now Bielik receives. Left circle. Didn't like what he saw. Played up. And that's going to be a penalty on the K-Wings. 4-on-4 hockey for 1:21 as Bielik will go to the box for a slash. So Cincinnati catches a break there. An offensive zone penalty against Kalamazoo. We'll see some 4-on-4 hockey. As the Clones roll out Ben King, Gunnar LaFontaine, Christian Felton, and Jake Johnson. Coach Wazlowski loves that combination of Felton and Johnson as Felton saucers one through, nearly found Ben King. Puck finds him either way. Dished across. Felton will slow things down. Pressured by Walker. He skates down low. Driving is Felton. Try denied. Cuts to his forehand. Near side corner. Kicks it back up to the point. Fontaine, high slot. Chased by Japshin. Fontaine with room. Kicks it over. Just behind the reach of Ben King. Now Johnson of Felton. Clones with a lot of offensive zone time here, but it'll expire as they work it back to the neutral zone. Clones want a partial change. They'll get it. Trailing pass intercepted, and now it's a foot race. Lundke wins it and steers it away. Now here comes Kidd with space. Tries to drive down the left wing. Gets caught up. Forced to hold on to the puck before dishing it low to Jaworski. Preston sends it over to the corner. 2 Clones there trying to pressure. Clones get possession right back. 12 seconds away from the power play. Lundke saucers one back. Felton, long shift for him. He shoots. Koskinvo makes the save. He'll squeeze.
Yeah, no such thing as a bad shot. Christian Felton decided to take it from center point and had a teammate right in front of the net just in case it squirted free from Koskinvo. It's a nice thing about having a guy like Christian Felton. He's there mainly for his defense, of course, but he can make some offensive plays as well with his good vision of the ice. Showed it right there by taking that shot.
Ben King right back out there. Gunnar LaFontaine and Sam Stevens with him. Back on the blue line is Johnson as Sackman takes the puck away, and to the power play go the Cyclones. 30 seconds to go on the Colin Bielik penalty. Clones trying to work it back in the O-zone. Sent in by King. He'll just weave his way through and dish it over on the backhand to Ryan Kerwin. 9 power play goals for Kerwin this year. Most amongst first-year rookies in the ECHL. Kerwin receives near side circle. Toe drag move. Can't get past Sackman. Still controls. Tries to center it to Fontaine. Another shot. Koskin-Vo makes the shoulder save. And out of the box comes Bielik. We have 5-on-5 hockey.
That signature odd angle shot from Ryan Kerwin has shown plenty of those this season. Has scored goals doing that. Tested Koskin-Vo there, making sure he's in fact hugging that right post, and he was able to make the save. I like Gunnar LaFontaine in front. They're checking for any rebounds or perhaps deflecting one in. Cincinnati starting to find its bearings a little bit. Isn't finding those shooting lanes, but they're keeping it on this side of the ice. Got to keep doing that.
Quick shot off the face-off from Granger. He was the only man to solve Koskin-Vo on Sunday. Had a look there, but it was denied by the rookie netminder. Now Granger over to Kidd. Trying to load up a pass, but Bielik got in his way. Chipped up. Clones right back in the offensive zone. Kidney takes a look. Spins back to his backhand. Closing in on him was Powell Connor, but the Clones still working around the perimeter. A shot tipped in front, no good. Just missed, but not by much. Hit to the numbers. Lutke goes down. The arm stays down as well as Kidd is pressured by Ryan Cox. Puck taken away by Japshin. And now Connor will take his time behind Koskin-Vo. Partner, you mentioned Ryan Kerwin on the power play. Despite him having 9 this year, no goals in the 2026 calendar year for Ryan Kerwin on the man advantage. He was red hot to start the regular season in that department, but it's just a testament to how Cyclones have been able to diversify the way they attack on the man advantage. It has been real fun to watch. We're going to take a break. Clones down by 1 early. Still plenty of time to go here at Heritage Bank Center.
Where can you turn when you're in pain? Turn where more high school, college, and pro athletes turn. Where your neighbors and weekend warriors turn. Where you'll get immediate access to expert doctors at 25 locations for surgeries, physical therapy, imaging, urgent care, and more. When you're in pain, turn to Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get superior care on your schedule. That's the Beacon difference.
Eric Clapton. September 8th. Heritage Bank Center. With special guest, Jimmy Vaughn. Reserved seats are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Eric Clapton.
Welcome back inside of Heritage Bank Center, where it is 1-0 Kalamazoo with 13:10 on the clock and ticking. Pennington off the face-off win for the K-Wings. Gets it to the red line, sends it for a ride. Goes around. Okabe waiting to collect, but it is the debuting defenseman for the Cincinnati Cyclones out there on the ice, Mitchell Wolf, as the shot ramps off a stick and goes out of play. Mitchell Wolf from Andover, Minnesota, making his pro debut tonight. Signed an SPC with the Cyclones on the 10th of April. Assistant captain at Bemidji State. And for the Cyclones, that's a big ad for them, especially right now. You need defensive depth.
Yeah, he really developed into a reliable defensive-minded blue liner with Bemidji State. Played 138 games there. In college, he had a high blocked shot total, and he was a multiple-time CCHA Defensive Player of the Week, so great defensive depth for the Cyclones.
Davis Pennington He'll work it up the near side. Taken away by King. He worked his way into the O-zone now. Top of the circle. Trying to load up a shot. Taken away. And now a pass. A breakaway for Okabe. Hit on Appleby. He dangles into the forehand. He scores. And the K-Wings make it 2-0 with 12.5 to go in the first period. K-Wings playing for their season, and they are playing like it. You saw it on Sunday. They were playing like the desperate team. Right now, they're not desperate. They're in control.
They are. They're controlling the pace of this game, and that's exactly what they want. Okabe just makes a really nice move after that stretch pass from Nolan Walker, following Kalamazoo forcing a turnover for Cincinnati. Whenever Ben King was trying to control it, Cincinnati still looking to find their rhythm with the puck movement. Kalamazoo taking advantage of that. They put up 2 early.
Still plenty of time to go here in the first period. Puck sent down to Appleby. He'll play it. Poisson was there pressuring. He's back on assignment from the Abbotsford Canucks as well. Just imagine that. A few days ago, you were playing with Christian Felton. He was your teammate, and now you find yourself opposite of him on the ice, fighting for a playoff spot. Christian Felton on the ice. Tries to work it up. Spots Gabriel Bernier. Jaden Lee shuffles it over to Preston. Clones pressuring. There is Justin Vive, appearing in his 600th ECHL game. For the game, we spoke to Justin Vive on what he expected, and for him, it's business as usual as the puck finds Kidd. Glove save. Koskin Vlo seals it up. As this is that line that could hurt you in a multitude of ways. The Kidd line, Liam Kidney and Adam Kidd, those two have really gotten comfortable playing with one another.
Yeah, they really have. The chemistry has come naturally to them. We've seen Liam Kidney get comfortable with each passing game as he's developed at the pro level. That time had a nice drop pass to Kidd, who was able to get a shot on to test Koskin Vlo.
Adam Kidd right now on a 3-game point streak, a goal and 3 assists. With that, also a 3-game assist streak, as he has been playing phenomenally as of late at a time where Cincinnati needs it most. Doherty across the line. He gets past Smolinski, holds on, looks for the wraparound, and it was denied by Appleby. Some defense there as well. As right now the K-Wings putting all the pressure here on the Clones despite being away from home. Puck stripped away by Kidd. He'll saucer one over through center, tracking it down and skating in is the debuting defenseman there, Wolf. Gets the shot off on Koskin Vlo. Now Granger hits the trailer. Fontaine shoots. Goes off a stick and out of play. Well, there is Nick Rayome after the whistle, trying to provide a bit of a spark. He's having a conversation there with what appeared to be Powell Connor. And if you join us on Sunday, that is a man the Cyclones were not making very good friends with, Powell Connor, so not a surprise to see them try and antagonize.
Yeah, and Nick Rayome, of course, that guy that's always going to stick up for his teammates, so of course he's mixed into it.
Fontaine off the face-off win, trying to center to Felton, who was streaking down the lane. Now Bielik backhands it past Felton. It was not played by the high stick, say the officials. Johnson receives on the forehand. Nick Rayome on his horse, gets through the line, trying to feed Jaworski, who was streaking along. Now a turnover. Here's a chance for Johnson, who shoots. Glove save, Koskin Vlo.
Nice quick counter by Cincinnati. Jake Johnson found his opportunity to rip it. Koskin Vlo was just able to make the glove save, but I like that read by Johnson. Nice thing about Felton and Johnson together is they can produce offensively whenever they're asked upon, especially Johnson, and you saw it right there.
We inch closer and closer to the halfway mark of the first period. 2-0 in favor of the K-Wings. Clones trying to close in as there's a collision in the end wall. The crowd oohs and ahs as the puck is still jousted for. Stevens Mentioned earlier, his first game in nearly 2 weeks. Last time we saw him was the last game of that Tahoe series. That was another big addition for Cincinnati as the Clones come away with the puck. Felton takes a look, sends it to the bottom of the circle. Stevens fans on it. King muscles his way through. Shot from the point goes off the outside of the cage. Stevens trying to swipe at it. Now he goes down to the ice. Was hooked there by the stick. The officials let it go on. 9.5 to go in the first period. 2-0 Kalamazoo. Felton, I've seen plenty of them. Dishes it over to Johnson. Johnson on the dump in, Clones chase. Kidney tailed. The defenseman, Greg Japshin. Now Smolinski. Tipped up past Koskinen. There will not be an icing. O'Connor. We'll go back to Japshin as the Clones go to work here on the forecheck. Clones take it away, work it up to Smolinski. He gives it down low. Cutting through the slot was Granger, but it was poked away by the K-Wings. Max Smolinski had himself a crowd in both games this past weekend. Had family in the building for both, including what he described as over 50. In that Toledo game, he has the puck now near side point. Spins off Preston. Dishes it on the backhand. Clones work it around. Smolinski receives from the blue line. One-timer goes wide. Rebound between the legs. Kidd nearly found Twine. Back up top, Clones putting some pressure on. Kidd receives. Top of the circle. Toe drag. Dishes over. Chance no good. Poisson slows it down as the K-Wings retreat back in their zone. Now try to guide it out. Dumped in by Connor. Appleby. We're playing on the backhand over to Henry. Nick Rayon right back out there. Clones stay onside. Shot denied by Koskinen. Puck pinballs over to the far side. Up and out. Colin Sackerman, the leader of this Kalamazoo team, a rallying point over the last few weeks as they go on this strong run, 7-3 in their last 10 games. Close trying to get back in the offensive zone. Here's Jaworski looking for his first goal of the season against Kalamazoo this year. Has it in the slot over to Kerwin. He shoots, never found Koskinen, and blocking that shot was Sackerman. He's slow to get up. Works his way over to the bench. Clones trying to close in. Rimmed around by Felton. On the backhand, King takes it away. Kerwin will play it back to the blue line. Felton now, deep slot. He shoots, goes up high on Bielik, and they blow the play dead. Felton goes over to apologize in a show of sportsmanship. We get a whistle. We'll be back. 2-0 Kalamazoo.
The good life shouldn't be reserved for the few. The finest cuisine should always be on the menu. And looking good shouldn't just be for the rich and famous. At Meijer, we believe that real life deserves real good, and we work hard to bring more of it. Here, quality meets value, and selection meets savings. So the good life is always within reach. We do more to make life a good deal better. At Meijer.
How do I love Skyline Chili? Let me count the ways. The Skyline 3-Way's the OG, and still my #1. Then there's the 4-Way with onions or beans. I say, give me both and make it a 5-way. I love Skyline always. Which way are you gonna try Skyline's new chicken chili? On a 3-way or cheese coneys? Maybe a chicken chili chilito or chicken chili cheese fries. There are lots of ways to enjoy Skyline's new chicken chili. Come try it today.
A look there at the Cyclones bench. First-year head coach Riley Wislowski trying to guide this team, this organization, back to the postseason. And it'll be an uphill battle as they find themselves down 2-0 with 6:52 to go in the first period. Louis Caparuso, he knows a thing or two on that bench about playing some meaningful hockey. He's trying to instill that in these young players as they figure out what it's like to play meaningful games in April and beyond. Sometimes you forget just how young this team is with some of the ways that they've been playing over the course of the last few weeks.
Yeah, a lot of these guys were playing college hockey just not too long ago this season, and now they're playing at the professional level, playing in a meaningful game. So those things are still kind of clicking, and Cincinnati trying to find their bearings. Down 2-0 here, 6:48 left in the first.
Louis Caparuso a few days ago when we were on the road joked about if you took out Justin Vive, just how much the average age of this Cyclones team would drop.
Making Justin feel a little old with that. You know.
He certainly dates him a little bit. K-Wings back in the O-zone. Cox trying to steer it forward. Ness took the stick there of Ken Appleby as it is Ben King dishing it cross ice. Kerwin takes a look around, will drop for Ludke. Ludke showing off the edge work. Feeds Helgeson, who shoots. That's a save by Koskin-Vlo. That play created by a very shifty play from Griffin Ludke. A little bit of poise, a little bit of skill to create that chance.
Yeah, I mean, the passing has looked good lately for Ludke as that confidence has grown. 2 assists on April 11th versus Toledo, and continues to show off those sharp puck-moving abilities.
Helgeson still searching for his first pro goal. Nearly found it there, but Koskin-Vlo had other plans. Clones dish it forward. Helgeson chips it past Connor. Has it down low, looks to center it to Vive. Bouncing puck collected by the captain and sent around. To the near side, Henry. Takes the check from Coons, now Granger. To the point. Banked off the end wall. Vive takes a look. Feeds it on the backhand. Pinching is Wolf to try and keep the play alive, but it is controlled by Japchin and the K-Wings. Now Coons up to Walker. You like the response from Cincinnati. They've gotten looks, but so far no goals. As now Okabe tries to center it. It has been a breakdown here and there and a lot of open space for the K-Wings in the O-zone. That's been the difference so far.
Yeah, they're a team that thrives with open space. So if you're Cincinnati, it's about keeping them along the perimeter and away from those high dangerous areas, like in between the face-off circles. That's where they love to feast, and took advantage of that with their first goal.
Just a little over 4.5 to go in the first period. Work back to the point. Pennington couldn't keep it in the zone. Davis Pennington from Saline, Michigan. 75 ECHL games under his belt. Puck now played to the far side. Driving is Matt Barry, the former Cyclone. Pennington with a blast. Just goes wide there on Appleby, who didn't see it all the way through. Now Pennington keeps it in the zone. He shoots. Tipped in front by Barry. Never found Appleby nor the cage. Preston. He dishes it up to the point. Shot kicked away there by the defenseman, and now the Clones play it out of the zone. Puck collected by the skates by Nick Rayome. He dangles his way through, shoots, but it goes wide and out of play. A great look there for Cincinnati. Nick Rayome trying to be the driving force. We take another break. Still 2-0 here in downtown Cincinnati.
This is just not what we say. It's what we do.
For 10 years, you've trusted us to do it right. This is only the beginning. We drive peace of mind.
We're still Kelsey, just even more us.
Come see it for yourself.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Donato's Thin Crust? Legendary. But here's another great crust and one amazingly good deal. Now get a large hand-tossed pizza for just $9.99. Seriously, just $9.99. Donato's. Gotta love more.
A look there at the creativity of the Cyclones offense, trying to find any way to get in this game. Right now the score is 2-1. Another look as well as that last try from Nick Rayon showing off the mitts. But it has been Kalamazoo bailing out in front of Koskin-Vo, and when called upon, Koskin-Vo has been sharp as well. 3:40 on the clock. Welcome back inside of Heritage Bank Center. Cyclones hockey on FloHockey and the Cyclones Radio Network. Remember, ADP, the official service provider for your Cincinnati Cyclones. Cincinnati wins the draw. Fontaine, bottom of the circle with space, shoots. Koskin-Vo with the save. It's loose in the blue paint, and Koskin-Vo spots it and will seal up the rebound. Felton down on the ice. He is still tangled up in a web of sticks and legs. Finally able to get up. Good look there for Gunnar Wolf Fontaine, or as they like to call him in the locker room, the gunslinger, as he is not afraid to shoot from any which possible angle. Gunnar Wolf Fontaine right now, 14th most points by a rookie in the ECHL. He's had an impressive first year. Continues to shine as Fontaine right now sits at 21 goals this year. Clones work it away. Jaworski, he shoots it, pinballs off a body and wide. Now Felton pinches up, centers the puck. Jaworski trying to go across. Intercepted by Strand. There was a potential breakaway chance there, but Strand didn't spot the streaking option. Clones get it back in their own zone. Chip it over the near side. Clones looking to clear. They do. It's up in the air. Pennington pressured by Fontaine. Puck will teeter back to Felton, who looks for a change of his own. Griffin Lutke, Minnesota native, played at the University of Nebraska, Omaha, has found a home here in the lineup for the Cincinnati Cyclones as the puck finds Kerwin in the slot. He goes down to the ice, and the arms stay down. Now a 3-on-2 here for Kalamazoo. Chipped along there by Bielik on the redirect, but he goes wide. Cincinnati trying to carry it out. Lutke forced to retreat. Now Smolinski goes up to Kerwin, who just flings one on target. Koskin-Vo punches it aside, and it turns into a break here for Kalamazoo. Griffin Ness, but he quickly gets closed out of space by Wolf as well as Kidney. Granger trying to sauce one through. Goes off the stick of Ness. Clones play it up and out. Now Granger picks it up in stride. He cuts in and shoots. Save made by Koskin-Vo, who continues to be red hot against Cincinnati. 16 saves in the contest so far. Now Kidd. Nice move. Carries. Dishes over. Granger can't get the shot off. Rimmed around. Kidd keeps it in the zone. Kidd dangles through, backhand, dishes it over, loose in the middle, taken away by Kalamazoo. 1:30 to go in the first period. Jackson Coons drives. On the backhand, he controls. Tailing him is Wolf. Now Walker low. Okabe with a lot of space, leaves it for Walker. Center to Coons, backhanded try denied. Coons gets the rebound and goes to the blue line. Connor on the backhand, steers it over top of the circle. Coons loads up a look and shoots, punched away there by the right hand of Appleby. To the final minute we go. Kidney on the dump in. Fontaine has it down low. Couldn't get it up to the blue line. Oh, it's loose there at center ice. Clones carry it right back in. Fontaine looking for the lead pass to Rayon, but he gets pinned along the end boards by Pennington. Half a minute to go here in the first. Puck taken away. Preston will skate it out. Dished over to the right wing. Gontus was trying to center it there to Poisson. Has to settle for a feed to Pennington. He shoots. Glove save. Loose. Rebound nearly kicked free. Now Preston on the backhand. Up to the blue line. Sackerman breaks his stick. Cyclones looking for a break, but it is Preston there to break up the chance. Sackerman still without his stick. Puck is up in the air, and that'll do for the first 20 minutes of the most important game of the season. The Clones trail 2-0 heading into the second period. Still plenty of time to go. You like the effort there from Cincinnati, but unfortunately it was a defensive breakdown early on that gave the K-Wings their early lead. We go down to ice level where Jake Irwin is with assistant coach Louis Caparuso. Jake, what's the latest?
Well, Louis, Cincinnati with some chances offensively there, but Kalamazoo doing a good job with their sticks. How do you change that going into the second period?
Well, we just got to keep doing what we're doing offensively, and the goals are going to come, but it's defensively that we got to start just sharpening up a little bit.
What kind of things defensively does this team need to do better with for the remainder of this game?
Just let no one behind us. No one can get behind us. The net front's got to be cleared at all times, and just fronting pucks.
Thank you, Louis.
Thanks, Jake.
Rudy?
Can't hit the panic button if you're the Cincinnati Cyclones. Still 40 minutes to go. Some meaningful hockey is very much in play. We'll be back in a few minutes to talk about a little bit more of the opening 20 and figure out what the Cyclones can do to get back in this game. Don't go anywhere. The Cyclones Intermission Report is coming up in just a few minutes.
Where can you turn when you're in pain? Turn where more high school, college, and pro athletes turn. Where your neighbors and weekend warriors turn. Where you'll get immediate access to expert doctors at 25 locations for surgeries, physical therapy, imaging, urgent care, and more. When you're in pain, turn to Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get superior care on your schedule. That's the Beacon difference.
This is just not what we say. It's what we do.
For 10 years, you've trusted us to do it right. This is only the beginning. We drive peace of mind.
We're still Kelsey, just even more us.
Come see it for yourself.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Eric Clapton. September 8th. Heritage Bank Center. With special guest, Jimmy Vaughn. Reserved seats are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Eric Clapton.
The good life shouldn't be reserved for the few. The finest cuisine should always be on the menu. And looking good shouldn't just be for the rich and famous. At Meijer, we believe that real life deserves real good, and we work hard to bring more of it. Here, quality meets value, and selection meets savings. So the good life is always within reach. We do more to make life a good deal better. At Meijer.
Donato's thin crust, legendary. But here's another great crust and one amazingly good deal. Now get a large hand-tossed pizza for just $9.99. Seriously, just $9.99. Donato's, gotta love more.
How do I love Skyline Chili? Let me count the ways. The Skyline 3-way is the OG, and still my #1. Then there's the 4-way with onions or beans. I say, give me both and make it a 5-way. I love Skyline always. Which way are you gonna try Skyline's new chicken chili? On a 3-way or cheese conies? Maybe a chicken chili chilito or chicken chili cheese fries. There are lots of ways to enjoy Skyline's new chicken chili. Come try it today.
Some of the youngsters here at Heritage Bank Center looking for a good trade. King and Kerwin, and of course the sign for Justin Vibe. 600 ECHL games under his belt. At least 2 more. Who knows what the future has in store for the big man? All we have is right here and right now. Welcome into the Cyclones Intermission Report. Alongside Jake Irwin, I'm Rudy Hodgson. Cyclones off to a slow start, down 2-0, but still plenty of time to go what do the Cyclones have to do to find a response and make sure they get off to the good start here in the second?
I think they can honestly keep doing what they're doing offensively. They're getting the shot volume. It's just Kalamazoo's been good with their sticks, and they're not allowing the Cyclones a lot of second chance opportunities on rebounds. So Louis liked how the offense looked whenever I spoke to him just moments ago. Just a matter of finding those passes against Cosquenvoix that throw him off balance and creating those different angles, and then defensively not allowing Kalamazoo behind you. Obviously, I mean, they have a lot of speed, a lot of pace to their game, and they're especially confident when they have the lead. So those are the big things we're looking at for the rest of this game.
Cosquenvoix has been a storyline ever since he has joined the Kalamazoo Wings. He is the hot hand right now, but you just figure it's a matter of time before Cincinnati finds a way to figure him out.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a shot right there of some of the chances by Cincinnati. Ryan Kerwin having that odd angle shot. Something he likes to do is create those different looks from different angles. And so Cincinnati with some good looks against Cosquenvoix just haven't been able to crack him yet. But they know they're more than capable of doing so. Cosquenvoix, as talented as he is, he can have those up and down games sometimes, like any young netminder usually. So for the Cyclones, it's all about putting on that shot volume, and eventually all you need is that greasy goal to get that momentum and this crowd back on your side.
We mentioned earlier in the broadcast, the Kalamazoo Wings were the team playing with desperation when we were at the Wings Event Center on Sunday afternoon. That desperation led to 2 points. Now it ratchets the other way. Cincinnati needs the points. The desperation falls in their hands.
Yeah, and something that really plagued Cincinnati earlier on in this year was not playing a good second period. They've had some better looks in the second period over the past month, and that's been a big part of why the Cyclones have had a better past month of hockey than previous ones. There's been other factors as well, but that's been a big one. Coming out responding after maybe a first period doesn't go your way. So that's the thing for Cincinnati. Keep pushing the pace offensively. We've seen some guys with some good pace to their game, like Christian Felton. I like how he's looked so far, just scanning the perimeter, using that speed to his advantage. When you can get that from one of your defensemen acting as another forward, it's a good recipe to find that offense that you've been looking for.
Well, let's talk a little bit about those guys that perhaps look like they haven't lost a step. Christian Felton in and out of the lineup in Abbotsford. Same with Ben King, but they have been big contributors for Cincinnati in the opening 20. It looks like they've been here for weeks.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, Ben King, you know what you're getting out of him. He has that high hockey IQ, slows the game down, and really scans things over. He knows when to shoot the puck or when to pass to an open teammate, and that's a big reason why he got his AHL call-up to the Toronto Marlies, because of those attributes. And then for Christian Felton, he's sound defensively, but he can also chip in offensively here and there as well. We saw it with some good passes he made in that first period, so we'll be looking for some more of that for this middle frame.
Now for Cincinnati on the other end, Ken Appleby, despite giving up 2 goals, made some really timely saves that could have very easily had seen this game get out of hand and in a hurry. For Cincinnati, as much as we would love to see the offense, when they find themselves in the defensive zone, you cannot get complacent. You cannot give them those chances in front of the net.
Yeah, Kalamazoo wants to get into the slot. They want to get those second chances, juicy rebounds off the pads so that they can pad it home. But for Appleby, we've seen it time and time again. If he doesn't always get off to a good start, he can dial it back in, and that's what comes with that veteran presence that he brings to this team. So Cincinnati, if they can scrape away those pucks in those dangerous areas and focus on the transition game, that can help their offense out a lot and help them claw away at this deficit.
Well, it is the Cincinnati Cyclones in need of 2 goals and more here against the Kalamazoo Wings. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll take a look around the ECHL as well as give you a bit of insight on the playoff picture with a look at the standings as well. He's Jake Irwin. I'm Rudy Hodgson. Stick around for a while. Clones hockey still on the air.
The pups are powered up in the all-new Paw Patrol Live, a mighty adventure. When a supervillain strikes, only one team is pawsome enough to stop them. Join Marshall, Sky, Chase, and some of your favorite pups for an action-packed adventure with singing, dancing, and non-stop fun. Don't miss the Paw Patrol Live on stage and mightier than ever.
Playing Heritage Bank Center May 16th and 17th. Tickets are on sale now at pawpatrollive.com.
Where can you turn when you're in pain? Turn where more high school, college, and pro athletes turn. Where your neighbors and weekend warriors turn. Where you'll get immediate access to expert doctors at 25 locations. for surgeries, physical therapy, imaging, urgent care, and more. When you're in pain, turn to Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get superior care on your schedule. That's the Beacon difference.
Leanne Morgan, the Time of Our Lives tour.
My children went to a small Christian school in Knoxville, and the girl that worked front desk was Jeannie, who's a good friend of mine. And I dropped my little children off that morning, and I came back that afternoon, and Jeannie saw me walk in, and she grabbed her chest and said, "Oh my gosh, Leanne, how are you walking?" She said, "Maggie said you had surgery today." I said, "Jeannie, I got my IUD replaced."
Live on stage at Heritage Bank Center, December 10th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
How do I love Skyline Chili? Let me count the ways. The Skyline 3-Way's the OG, and still my #1. Then there's the 4-Way with onions or beans. I say, give me both and make it a 5-way. I love Skyline always. Which way are you gonna try Skyline's new chicken chili? On a 3-Way or cheese conies? Maybe a chicken chili chilito or chicken chili cheese fries. There are lots of ways to enjoy Skyline's new chicken chili. Come try it today.
Welcome back to Heritage Bank Center as the intermission report rolls on here between the Cincinnati Cyclones and the Kalamazoo Wings. 2-0 the score. Let's start off with our scores around the ECHL. How about we let Jake Irwin take it from here? Jake, what's going on?
Thank you, Rudy. Let us take a look around the ECHL scores. First, we bring you to Glens Falls, New York, Harding Mazzotti Arena. Trois-Rivières Lions trailing the Adirondack Thunder by a 4-1 score. 8 minutes to play in the second period. In Market Arena, Savannah, Georgia, South Carolina Stingrays 4, Savannah Ghost Pirates 2. 10 minutes to play in the second frame. 6:34 left in the second from First Horizon Coliseum, Greensboro, North Carolina. Scoreless with 6:34 in the second, Norfolk Admirals and Greensboro Gargoyles. Greenville, South Carolina, where the Swamp Rabbits have a good start to their game against the Jacksonville Icemen. 4-1 Swamp Rabbits, 9:20 left in the second. Good one cooking here between two of some of the best teams in the ECHL. Wheeling Nailers at the Toledo Walleye from the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio, all tied up at 1. With those Titans clashing, 13:33 left in the second period. End of one from Hertz Arena in Estero, Florida. It's the Florida Everblades with a 1-0 advantage against the Reading Royals 20 minutes into that game. Scoreless in the early going from Bloomington, Illinois, between the Iowa Heartlanders and the Bloomington Bison. 8:47 left in the first. The Island Americans 2, Wichita Thunder with no score from Wichita, Kansas. 10:34 in the first period. 12 minutes in, scoreless, Kansas City Mavericks and the Tulsa Oilers from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then a game that has yet to drop the puck, 7:05 Mountain Time. It's the Tahoe Night Monsters at the Rapid City Rush. And those are your scores from around the ECHL.
Thank you very much, Jake. We take a look at the standings just to give you a concept of what needs to happen here. Cincinnati, you see them right now 2 points out of that 4th spot, but they have a game on the Indy Fuel. They're currently playing in it right now. So for Cincinnati, right now the objective is, probably the most obvious thing I could possibly say is win. Win today and win tomorrow. Can't worry about what happens outside and what's going on, but you got to focus on what you have in front of you. And we actually mentioned this earlier on, Jake. If you would have told us game 1, game 2 of the season, it's going to come down to the wire here, you would take it, because just how much of a logjam the Central could be, you knew the talent up and down this division.
Yeah, exactly right, Rudy. I mean, we know the Fort Wayne Comets and the Toledo Walleye, some of the strongest teams in the league. You see them there at the top, and the Bloomington Bison looking to secure that 3 spot, battling with the Indy Fuel there, and then the Cyclones and Wings right on the outside looking in. So, yeah, you just have to focus on tonight and winning tonight, making that comeback, and then focus on tomorrow's game if you're able to win tonight. You can't focus on the things that are out of your control like what the Indy Fuel does. Just focus on your game and have a strong 40 minutes.
Now for those at home, the Indy Fuel play tomorrow against the Wheeling Nailers on the road. If everything goes our way and Indy loses in any fashion, that's the easiest path for the Cyclones. Once you start looking at splitting points and all these other things, there's just so many different scenarios when you have such a close division race. You take a look at the mountain and everything is set there. Tahoe, the last team to clinch, and it's almost the kind of ugly truth there that Tahoe gets in with 74 points, and Cincinnati right now just scratching and clawing for their playoff lives right now with 75, but that's what the mountain looks like. And over in the east, you also have a pretty good idea of how everything else is going to look. Everyone else is in. This is the only race here in the Central going into the final weekend. Adirondack clinched a spot just a few days ago, and the Savannah Ghost Pirates, the most recent team to punch their ticket to the Kelly Cup playoffs. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it is the second period here from Heritage Bank Center. Cincinnati down by a duo, but still plenty of time to get back into this game and give themselves a shot to find the X next to their names. We'll be back in a few. Don't go anywhere.
Where can you turn when you're in pain? Turn where more high school, college, and pro athletes turn. Where your neighbors and weekend warriors turn. Where you'll get immediate access to expert doctors at 25 locations for surgeries, physical therapy, imaging, urgent care, and more. When you're in pain, turn to Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get superior care on your schedule. That's the Beacon difference.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Saturday, June 13th, Heritage Bank Center. Journey. Reserved seats are on sale now at journeymusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
The good life shouldn't be reserved for the few. The finest cuisine should always be on the menu. And looking good shouldn't just be for the rich and famous. At Meijer, we believe that real life deserves real good, and we work hard to bring more of it. Here, quality meets value, and selection meets savings. So the good life is always within reach. We do more to make life a good deal better. At Meijer.
How do I love Skyline Chili? Let me count the ways. The Skyline 3-Way is the OG, and still my #1. Then there's the 4-Way with onions or beans. I say, give me both and make it a 5-way. I love Skyline always. Which way are you gonna try Skyline's new chicken chili? On a 3-way or cheese conies? Maybe a chicken chili chilito or chicken chili cheese fries. There are lots of ways to enjoy Skyline's new chicken chili. Come try it today.
Welcome back to HBC, Heritage Bank Center. 2-0 K-Wings. Second period about to get rocking and rolling here as Jay Cruz gets this crowd fired up. And you know what, Jake? Fan Appreciation Weekend. We got ourselves a great crowd here in the building, but that has been a constant all season long. We always say Clones are the team, but the fans are the pulse. They make the heartbeat go on and on. They have been great all season long. We got to give them their flowers. They've been tremendous.
Yeah, and Cincinnati has the reputation around the league for it too. You know, you talk to other broadcasters from other teams, and one of the things they say is, "Oh, you guys always have great attendance." It's true. The fans come out and they support the Cyclones, and it makes a huge difference for these guys.
Clones hoping to give them something to cheer about here as Bielik off the face-off shoots, and Appleby will make his first save of the middle frame. Colin Bielik. He has been a serious threat all season long from Brighton, Michigan. He's on a AHL deal himself. Acquired in the trade from the Maine Mariners in October, and he has been real comfortable ever since joining the K-Wings.
Yeah, he has been. 39 points on the season, points in 5 of his last 9. He's been playing good hockey here all year long, and he's had some good looks against Cincinnati. Cyclones trying to change that. Get some looks offensively like they did in that first.
Pinching again is the defenseman Felton. Puck taken away, but Felton able to steer it away. Now he has it by the hashes. Inches in, save made, rebound. Finds Kerwin. Kerwin now, quick shot up in the air, and down to the ice goes Stevens. As he was looking for the rebound, but Koskin-Vogt was able to hold on to it.
It's all about Cincinnati finding those open areas of the ice against Kalamazoo to get those shots. Couple shots there against Koskin-Vogt, and that's because Cincinnati had some good puck movement, and they were able to prevent the K-Wings from closing down those shooting and passing lanes. That's the big thing. Kalamazoo was real good with their sticks in that first period. Cincinnati looking to shift around the defense with that puck movement and get those looks at the net.
Gunnar LaFontaine to take the draw here. It's 35 seconds into the second period. They win the draw. Saucered over to Rayón, but taken away. Now a 3-on-2 for the Kalamazoo Wings, but the Clones take it away and turn it into a chance of their own. Rayón drops. Jaworski shoots. Blocker save. Koskin-Vogt. Down low, Rayón. Chasing him is Jaden Lee. He pokes it free. Cyclones go D to D. Stays onside. Jaworski. Pressured there by the other number 18 on the ice, and Robbie Drasner. Clones pressure there on the forecheck. Force a turnover. Jaworski hits the trailer. It's Ludke. He shoots. Tipped. Denied by Koskin-Vogt. Ludke to the forehand. Saucers one through. There's Smolinski. Nicknamed Smoke in the locker room. Ludke across. Fontaine. He shoots. Traffic there looking for the flash screen was Rayón. Clones still working it around, but finally the K-Wings repossess. Some healthy offensive zone time there for Cincinnati as Okabe takes his time on the near side. He'll set it for a ride. Japshin, he shoots off the stick of Granger. Japshin gets it again, fires wide. And there's Gunnar LaFontaine trying to poke it up. Poisson. Takes it for a lap, plays it up to Japshin. He shoots top of the circle. Kidney plays it on the backhand away. There's Luke Granger. Pressured by Barry, who loses his stick, trying to kick it up to keep it in the zone. Clones get the puck, and it's played back to Smolinski. Max Smolinski right now with points in 3 of his last 5 games. He has found some production here along the blue line. Since his arrival, he's played in every game possible. As now Liam Kidney drives down the near side. Crunch there by Strand. Kid has it on his forehand, but he's pinned along the wall. Before it's controlled again by the K-Wings. Colin Sackerman goes over. Now Doherty. Tipped down to the air. Clones looking to go in transition. But again, carried by Strand, who skates it into the Cincinnati zone. But it was a good stick there from Adam Kidd to take possession right back.
Yeah, that was a good stick by Adam Kidd. And he's known for having those great stick abilities. We know he's crafty with his puck movement, but can also make plays defensively when he needs to earn possession for the team, and he showed it there.
Justin Vive sends one on target. Koskin-Vogt will play it. Jaden Lee had an overtime game winner in this building earlier on this year. One of his 2 game-winning goals in the 2025-26 campaign. Puck up in the air, Justin Vive. Pressuring Drasner. Bernier looking for the quick shot. Fans on it. Now Ness. Dish over to the near side. Gontu centers. Bouncing puck. Goes past Appleby over to the far side. Cincinnati turns the puck over. A breakaway for Cox on the backhand. Appleby says no. Big save for the Big Apple. Just 4 minutes into the second period.
Yeah, very big save. His biggest so far in this game. Just stuck out that left pad and denied Kalamazoo on that quick counter after Cincinnati had the turnover in its own side. Great job by the veteran netminder to stand tall and keep the score where it's at. Overhead view of it here. Brian Cox didn't get all that puck, kind of feigned on the shot, but Appleby did a good job to stride over, get that left pad out there so he couldn't slide it home.
Connor. Pass to Ness. Finds Bielik instead. Secondary option, plays it on the backhand. Down low to Cox. Down go the Beermans. Another turnover, another shot, and Appleby makes the save. And Sam Stevens has a bit to say there after the whistle. And so did Bielik until stepping in appeared to be Ben King. And try and defend his teammates. Ben King hasn't lost a step.
No, he certainly has not, and that's exactly what we expected from him. He was last with the Cyclones in February. He had 10 points in 4 games from January into February, which prompted his AHL call-up, and since then, yeah, hasn't lost a step. I mean, he continues to be that productive guy you can count on to push the offense down the ice. Cyclones trying to work this out of their end and get those looks offensively like they did to open up this period.
Another face-off win for Kalamazoo. Bielik spins, shoots, and into the breadbasket of Appleby. There's an ongoing joke in the locker room when a player gets called up from Cincinnati to Toronto or wherever they go. Well, they tell each other, hope we don't see you for a while. And for Ben King, that was exactly the case. But right now, for him to come back the last 2 games of the season shows a bit of the trust that the affiliate has in Cincinnati. They know and they are willing to give a player of Ben King's caliber for this push that the Clones are trying to make as Lutke and Bielik have a word. Now Rayom dished over, a chance there in front for Smolinski. Couldn't get any wood on it. Now Bielik through center on the backhand. Chip in unsuccessful, but a turnover. Coons now across the blue line. Bielik again loads up a shot, shoots, and he scores. 3-0 Kalamazoo, and it's the most dangerous player on the ice for the K-Wings that makes it 3-0.
Yeah, giving him space is something that'll hurt you. He showed it right there. Bielik has had a decent amount of shots on goal the last couple minutes, and this time he's able to find Twine. 2 defenders there, but Bielik able to find that angle to get it past Appleby. Rears up a shot and fires it home for his 22nd goal of the season, and makes it 3-0 K-Wings.
Coons will play it on the backhand over to Walker. Centering feed, no good. Granger skates in, dangles through, got tied up there for a moment, and he loses the stick there to Pennington. Coons on the backhand over to the near side. Sackerman sends it along. Far side Okabe. Now Walker receives. It has been a rough start here for the Cincinnati Cyclones. Still plenty of time to work with. 14 and a half on the clock. Sent to the middle. But having his stick tied up by Sackerman was Kidd. Could have very easily have been a holding the stick call. But the officials letting both teams play here. Wolf. Over to the near side. They'll say Cincinnati was onside. Now Barry pressured. First line right back out there. Kerwin, King, and Stevens. Puck up in the air. Poisson dishes over. Lee receives with speed. Pass to Barry, tipped away, and now the Cyclones with a break. Here's King. Gives it to Kerwin. Backhanded try. Denied by Koskinvo. King back to the blue line. Johnson across. Felton receives. He shoots it wide. Banks off the end boards. Chipped over to Preston, who clears. Now a break here for the K-Wings. Preston across the line. Looks over, centers the puck. Poisson steers it over to the near side boards. Clones intercept. And so Cincinnati right now trailing by a trio with 13 minutes to go here in the second period. Fanning on the passes, Johnson. Now Helgeson. Back on over to Johnson. Koskin Vlo will take his time. Bernier will feed it back to the blue line. Smolinski sent low. Connor takes a check there from Justin Vive. And if the Cyclones need a spark, look no further than Justin Vive. In that Toledo game, it was his physical play that led directly to a John Jaworski goal. Gave the Cyclones the extra motivation they needed to get back in the game. At one point, they had the lead, scoring 3 unanswered. Here's another chance. Cox shoots. Shoulder save, Appleby. You can feel the tension in the building as this crowd wants something positive to root for. Walker checks up. Sackerman plays it away. That's a slash all day and all night, and it'll be a power play for Cincinnati. As Griffin Ness will go Ride Pine for 2 minutes. We'll be back in a few. 3-0 Kalamazoo.
Where can you turn when you're in pain? Turn where more high school, college, and pro athletes turn. Where your neighbors and weekend warriors turn. Where you'll get immediate access to expert doctors at 25 locations for surgeries, physical therapy, imaging, urgent care, and more. When you're in pain, turn to Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get superior care on your schedule. That's the Beacon difference.
Eric Clapton. September 8th. Heritage Bank Center. With special guest, Jimmy Vaughn. Reserved seats are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Eric Clapton.
Cyclones get their first full-length power play of the night. They had a condensed one earlier on for just under 40 seconds, but we will see what the Cyclones have in store for us here in this second power play of the night. There were some power play numbers there, Jake, as we get ready to go here. Strand with daylight, dumps it down. Appleby will settle it down.
This man advantage could be the motivator that Cincinnati needs to get back into this game. Power play, 3 percentage points better at home than it is overall this season, home and away. So they're hoping for that more power play magic.
There's a chance, rings iron, just misses. And not by much as the Clones knock on the doorstep. Here's King, he carries, he shoots, punched away by Koskin Vlo. Set it there, partner. That was nearly the spark this crowd and this team needed. Now you hope that there is something brewing here. 3-on-2 for the Clones. Kerwin drops. Bernier takes his time. Feeds Stevens, who shoots. Save made. Rebound goes over the cage. A gut punch there for the Clones power play. 2 golden opportunities. Beat everything but themselves.
Yeah, and I like how they're playing with more pace on this power play. Another turnover, though.
Bernier blows a tire. Shot, save made by Appleby as down to the ice goes Granger. 40 seconds to go on the power play. Cincinnati looking for their first of the night. Luke Granger across the line, and the Cyclones commit a cardinal sin. An offside on the power play.
Couple of good looks. Don't love the sloppy movement down the ice with the puck, but 2 golden opportunities, like you said, just couldn't cash in on either of them. But Cincinnati still has 33 seconds left in this man advantage, so they have time to gather themselves and continue testing Koskin Vlo.
Get a look there at Justin Vive. Game 600 for the big man. As it looks like we're going to have a review. So they're going to take a look to see if that first try went off of the back bar. Guys, not sure if we have a look at it, but that was the play that nearly found the back of the net. Cincinnati kind of hoping that it bounced around off of that white bar that hugs the back post. In real-time, partner, it looked like it went off of the corner post and right out, but they have a better angle down there.
Yeah. Maybe they'll see an angle that we didn't. But for now, Cincinnati still with some time left on the man advantage. I like the pace that Cincinnati came out with once they went on the man advantage. You saw that they were trying to control the game more, lots of speed when going down the ice. Something that they didn't have a whole lot of early in this game was that speed, looking like they're the more desperate team. Now it's starting to settle in, I think.
We have a verdict. It stands, no goal. So the Cyclones will still have 33 seconds of power play time. Give credit to the officials for taking a look at it. Tonight's officials, the two referees, Logan Gruhl, number 29, Elliot Grauer, number 59, the two linesmen, Ryan Gorkoff and Andy Zawada. Gorkoff 94, Zawada 97. Down goes another pyramid. It was a rather large one, too. "15 seconds to go on the power play. As Ben King drops it to Fontaine. They give and they go. King now, right wing. Gathers it. We'll send it around for Stevens. They'll return the favor. Now Kerwin to King. Back to full strength go the K-Wings. It is taken away by Preston Kalamazoo now with a 3-on-2. To the near side, Strand, but the K-Wings were offside. 9:45, we are past the halfway mark. Clones trail by 3.
The good life shouldn't be reserved for the few. The finest cuisine should always be on the menu. And looking good shouldn't just be for the rich and famous. At Meijer, we believe that real life deserves real good, and we work hard to bring more of it. Here, quality meets value, and selection meets savings. So the good life is always within reach. We do more to make life a good deal better. At Meijer.
How do I love Skyline Chili? Let me count the ways. The Skyline 3 ways the OG, and still my number one. Then there's the 4 way with onions or beans. I say, give me both and make it a 5-way. I love Skyline always. Which way are you gonna try Skyline's new chicken chili? On a 3-way or cheese coneys? Maybe a chicken chili chilito or chicken chili cheese fries. There are lots of ways to enjoy Skyline's new chicken chili. Come try it today.
$9:45 to go here in the second period. A look there at the bench as the Cyclones go back to 5-on-5. Luke Granger. Puck taken away. Granger himself also on a point streak of his own. 3 games in a row for Luke Granger where he has recorded a point. Said it all season long. He produces in bunches as Kidney is trying to get past Lee, and Lee drops the shoulder. Now another chance here, bottom of the circle. A shot goes wide for Kidney. Clones repossess. Trying to cycle it was Kidney, but he was taken away there by Lee. Puck up in the air. Smolinski forced to retreat. Playing on the backhand. Walker pressuring, bouncing puck. Nick Rion tracks it down, settles it on the backhand, tries to go over to Kidd. Now Granger swats at it low. Lee turns it over. Koskin-Vaux steers it aside as it was trickling towards the blue paint. Now Lutke to Smolinski. They're just banking off the boards and forward. Gunnar Fontaine loses the puck there in the neutral zone, forced to go back. With 8.5 to go here in the second period. Fontaine Nice dish, Rayom, he shoots. Uncomfortable save for Koskin-Vlo, but he makes it nonetheless. 8:17 to go in the second period. Another save for Koskin-Vlo, his 24th of the game.
Yeah, just another nice save by Koskin-Vlo. I like the puck movement there by Cincinnati. Nice pass. Nick Rayom able to generate a shot there from that angle, but Koskin-Vlo just able to get on top of the puck and not allow a second chance opportunity for the Clones. See if Cincinnati can get something quick off the face-off here. Generate another shot against Koskin-Vlo.
Face-off win for Cincinnati as a Franken line is on the ice now for Coach Wazlowski. Bielik will dish it forward for Kalamazoo. Appleby tries to play it over to the near side. Collected at the right wing by Bielik. Already a goal to his credit. Cyclones come away with it. Now King, one-on-one with Pennington. Tries to get inside. Save made, rebound. Kerwin not able to get on it. A shot. It was tipped, but they will say offside as the puck had just escaped the offensive zone.
Yeah, I mean, Cincinnati is doing a good job of entering the Kalamazoo zone. They're coming in with lots of speed. Kalamazoo has just had an answer with their netminder and, like you saw right there, protecting the front of the crease and slot area so the Cyclones can't get those second chances. But if you can just get a puck to roll your way, that's all you need to start getting back into this game.
You just need a bounce. You just need something to go your way. See how the ice tilts here in the second half of the game as Appleby will hold on. Period of the long change. Cyclones will get a full change of their own. Fourth line steps on the ice. There you see Justin Vive. The face-off is Preston. Lines up against Liam Kidney. Appleby will play it over. Sailed up in the air by Bernier. Vive is offside, so the Cyclones will have to touch up. Bernier didn't get the memo as he pressures, but it won't matter. Actually, it will. The faceoff is going to go all the way back down to the Cincinnati zone. Thought for a moment Japchin was going to escape the zone and the Cyclones were going to come away unscathed, but perhaps the lack of communication led to the faceoff taking place in the Cincinnati third of the ice.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's something that Coach Wazlowski is really going to want this team to focus on for the remainder of this game, is communicating. We know he stresses that a lot, obviously an important thing in a game of hockey. So whenever they make those transitions, either offensively or defensively, talking with each other, especially when you're trailing 3-0, is such a huge part of this game.
Shots on goal 24-18 here at Heritage Bank Center in favor of the Cyclones, and yet it's the team with 18 shots on goal with 3 in the back of the net. Clones still trailing 3-0. Puck goes to the end boards. Pennington pressured by Granger, worked up to the near side. Barry clears. Will it have the legs for icing? It does not, so Felton will retrieve. He is pressured there by Poisson. Couple of guys that were in Abbotsford just a few hours ago. As Kidd nearly coughs up the puck, Preston, they're pressuring, and he tips the pass from Kidd. As now bailing out the youngster is Christian Felton, an Ohio native from Medina, Ohio, up near Akron. Six and a half to go here in the second period. You're watching and listening to Cyclones hockey on FloHockey and the Cyclones Radio Network. Last 2 games of the regular season. Pennington with room, high slot, shoots it wide. Goes off the end boards. Lee centers. One-timer goes off the corner of the post. Stays out. Gontus with a pass to Doherty. He tries to go cross ice. Tipped by Kidney. Another cross ice feed. Tipped up and out. Clones looking for a response. A season that has been full of dramatic comebacks. Cyclones hoping there's one more in their future. Jaworski pressure. Gontus on the forehand. Here comes Jaworski. Settles it down low. Trying to play it on the backhand. Rayon pressuring. Now streaking in as Wolf, who shoots it wide. Goes off the outside of the net. Now Lee over to Doherty. Loses the handle. Able to chip it over to Strand. Gets across the red line and dumps it. Henry for Cincinnati. 3/4 of the way through this second period. Okabe redirect. Now Walker. Right circle. We'll just steer it low as right now the K-Wings playing on cruise control. A feed to the middle. Okabe denied by Appleby. Bouncing puck goes past the left leg of Ken Appleby once again as Okabe has the puck and steers it over. Japshin with a drive. Save is made. And after the whistle, Curtis Henry would like a word with Walker. But the cooler heads prevail. 4:39 to go here in the second period. Clones trail by 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
Is this just not what we say? It's what we do.
For 10 years, you've trusted us to do it right. This is only the beginning. We drive peace of mind.
We're still Kelsey, just even more us.
Come see it for yourself.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Donato's Thin Crust, legendary. But here's another great crust and one amazingly good deal. Now get a large hand-tossed pizza for just $9.99. Seriously, just $9.99. Donato's, gotta love more.
.439 to go here in the second period. Welcome back inside of Heritage Bank Center. First of 2 to wrap up the regular season against the Kalamazoo Wings. Cyclones 5-4-1 in the season series up to this point. 12 total. Number 11 taking place. Clones win the face-off. First line out there. Sam Stevens with a new look, wearing a tinted visor. Shades of Andrei Kopitar. And he actually said that's one of the motivations for the new look. Him and Gunnar LaFontaine both wearing tinted visors despite going the whole year with regular visors. Not overly relevant, but still very interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
players looking for any which way to better their game.
Use Kopitar as a motivator. I'd say that's not a bad thing to help you play better. Some confidence on your side.
Ryan Kerwin on the rim around. Ben King down to a knee. Not able to track down the puck. Now Ness centers it over. Okabe with a lane. Shoots. Goes over the crossbar and wide. Now King on the backhand. Sends it over. Felton all by himself. Steers it on target. Koskin-Voix makes the easy pad save as he was hugging his post. And he'll hang on. Koskin-Voix is perfect right now. 24 out of 24 with 3:32 to go in the second period. Koskin-Voix on an NHL deal with the Vancouver Canucks. Big brother of the Abbotsford Canucks and bigger brother of the Kalamazoo Wings. Was a 5th round selection, 137th overall by the Vancouver Canucks. 2021. Kidney. Quick pass sent to the middle. Bouncing around, it stays out. It was on the blue paint, and somehow it didn't cross the red. We'll have to take a look upstairs. Official was right there. He saw it all the way. This crowd rose to their feet, believing Cincinnati had their first. We get a look here on the overhead. It was inching closer and closer, and Koskin, whoa, reached back in time. What a save. Face-off won there by Kalamazoo. They'll lift it out of the O-zone for Cincinnati. Now Granger dishes across. Johnson, last man back. He's looking for the feed over to the right wing for Kidd. Controlled and settled down by Felton as he is chased here by Ryan Cox. Now Felton centers, score! Liam Kidney puts Cincinnati on the board. We're back in the game. Christian Felton created that play. Liam Kidney, the beneficiary of his hard work. And the Clones rewarded here late in the second period to make it a 2-goal game once again. Felton in his first game back from the American Hockey League gets a point in his return. Now points in back-to-back games for him when wearing the black and red of the Cincinnati Cyclones. Puck up in the air, flips out of play, and we'll see what the officials say as far as where this faceoff will take place. Liam Kidney from Enfield, Nova Scotia. His fourth goal of the year, 8 points on the campaign. This is game number 19 for Liam Kidney, and he was able to slot home a nice feed there from Christian Felton. 2.5 to go. Clones repossess. Smolinski glassing forward. Rimmed around. Fontaine sees it go off of his shoulder. Now Barry sends it over to the far side. Poisson knocks down Smolinski. There to steer it away is Jaworski. Now Preston pressuring. Clones break it out a 3-on-2. Fontaine back to Jaworski. Jaworski gets knocked down to the ice. Dropping the shoulder is Rayom. He spins, sends it low to the end board. Jaworski, backhanded feed to Fontaine, no good, but it goes up to the blue line. Felton looking for the redirect, goes over the bar. Clones pressuring. Delayed offside. Felton swipes at it. Whistle blown, 1:35 on the clock. Secondary assist on that goal for the Cyclones goes to Jake Johnson, his 36th assist of the season. Puck controlled by the K-Wings. Up in the neutral zone. Flagged down by Doherty, who shoots it wide. Appleby was there. Jaden Lee turns around. Delayed offside. Clones dump it down. King forced to go back and touch up as now the Cyclones can pressure. Lee back to Doherty. Doherty enters the zone, gains the line, dangles through. A shot denied there by the shoulder of Appleby. Dish to the middle. Clones trying to steer it away. Gontus on the backhand, chips it up to the blue line. Drasner, puck fluttering up in the Cincinnati zone, fed back to Lee. 1 minute to go here in the second period. Clones and the K-Wings up to this point in this frame have exchanged goals. 3 unanswered from Kalamazoo to start the game. The Cyclones just cut into the lead with a much-needed goal. 40.8 as the puck goes out of play. Make sure you stick around here at the end of the second period. We'll have a player interview for you. Jake Irwin will be down at ice level. Thanks to Airtron Heating and Air Conditioning for keeping the rink ice cold while your Cyclones heat up. Airtron, the official service provider for your Cincinnati Cyclones. And in case you didn't get the memo, it's Geta season every season. So stop by a local Meijer grocer and grab your Geta for your next family get-together. Down to the goal line. Quick feed blocked in front by Smolinski. He retreats back behind the cage. We'll send over the near side. Kidd takes a look. His exit pass goes off of one of his own guys. Saucered over to the near side. Coons at the goal line. 15 seconds to go here in the second period. Okabe. Another rim around. Walker guides it forward. Or rather back. 5 seconds to go. Pass tipped. And the Cyclones kick it out of harm's way, and that'll do for the second period. So the Clones get one back. They hope there's some momentum there as the Cyclones show signs of life. 3-1 going into the second period here at Heritage Bank Center. Shots on goal 26-22 in favor of the Cincinnati Cyclones. The lone goal for the Clones belonged to Liam Kidney, his 4th of the year. 8 points for him this season. The assists go to Christian Felton, who kept that play alive, and the secondary assist to Jake Johnson. That goal gave the Cyclones their first of the night. So the Cyclones go into the third period the same way they went into the second. Down by 2, down at ice level. It is Jake Irwin with Cyclones forward Liam Kidney. Take it away, Jake.
Liam, you're able to pot that first goal for the team. What does this team need to do for the final 20 minutes to keep getting those chances offensively against Kalamazoo?
Yeah, I think we just need to keep it simple. You know, ice isn't great right now, but that's no excuse. You know, we just got to get pucks deep, forecheck them, make them turn the puck over, and get to the blue paint.
This Kalamazoo team, they've been real good with their sticks tonight, dispossessing the Cyclones of the puck. How can you kind of change that, get those passes moving fluid so that way you can get those chances?
Yeah, we just need to be in our spots. You know, if we're in our spots, those lanes are open, but we just need to make sure we're in those spots to be able to get possession of the puck there.
Thank you, Liam.
Thank you.
Rudy?
Thank you very much, Jake. Well, after 40, the Cyclones trail by 2. Cyclones looking for another magical comeback here in front of a great crowd on Fan Appreciation Weekend to keep their playoff hopes alive. We'll break down more of that second period when we come back, and we'll preview the third period, take another look at the scores around the ECHL, and wrap it all up with the affiliate check-in. We'll be back in a few, so don't go anywhere.
Where can you turn when you're in pain? Turn where more high school, college, and pro athletes turn. Where your neighbors and weekend warriors turn. Where you'll get immediate access to expert doctors at 25 locations for surgeries, physical therapy, imaging, urgent care, and more. When you're in pain, turn to Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get superior care on your schedule. That's the Beacon difference.
This is just not what we say. It's what we do.
For 10 years, you've trusted us to do it right. This is only the beginning. We drive peace of mind.
We're still Kelsey, just even more us.
Come see it for yourself.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Eric Clapton. September 8th. Heritage Bank Center. With special guest, Jimmy Vaughn. Reserved seats are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Eric Clapton.
The good life shouldn't be reserved for the few. The finest cuisine should always be on the menu. And looking good shouldn't just be for the rich and famous. At Meijer, we believe that real life deserves real good, and we work hard to bring more of it. Here, quality meets value, and selection meets savings. So the good life is always within reach. We do more to make life a good deal better. At Meijer.
Donato's thin crust, legendary. But here's another great crust and one amazingly good deal. Now get a large hand-tossed pizza for just $9.99. Seriously, just $9.99. Donato's, gotta love more.
How do I love Skyline Chili? Let me count the ways. The Skyline 3-Way's the OG, and still my #1. Then there's the 4-Way with onions or beans. I say, give me both and make it a 5-Way. I love Skyline always. Which way are you gonna try Skyline's new chicken chili? On a 3-Way or cheese conies? Maybe a chicken chili chilito or chicken chili cheese fries. There are lots of ways to enjoy Skyline's new chicken chili. Come try it today.
A look there at the goal the Cincinnati Cyclones had to get back in this game, created by Christian Felton, tucked home by Liam Kidney, like we mentioned, his 4th of the season. Listen, folks, as a broadcaster, usually I have all the words. Today I'm at a loss. I'm not looking at the camera because I'm actually looking at what's going on down at the ice. Alongside Jake Kern, I'm Marie Hodgson. We have a figure skating show taking place here at Heritage Bank Center. Jay Cruz was, I believe, they're replicating Blades of Glory, I believe. And then Twister was Chaz Michael Michaels. Puck drop did a flip, and that's Alexis Cruz, our friend from Fox 19.
It's been one of the better intermission shows, I think. It might be the best one all season, honestly. We've had some entertaining ones, but watching Jay Cruz miraculously glide down the ice to pump up the crowd along with Twister and puck chop doesn't get much better than that. I mean, come on.
I don't know what to say, but let's roll on here as we get ready for the 3rd period. Cincinnati Cyclones down by 2, and they are in need of a little more what we saw there on the back half of that 2nd period. Offense, but intentional offense. No more sending it to Koskinville, hoping for rebounds. He's not giving them up. Cyclones need to make sure they convert when they have that space.
Yeah, exactly. Not only is he doing a good job with rebound control, but Kalamazoo, for most of this game, has done a good job at getting pucks out of those high dangerous areas when they are loose and not giving Cincinnati those extra cracks at it, because they've been real good with their stick detail in this game, and that has been one of the big storylines for the K-Wings and their success. I love the cross-ice pass, though, from Felton to Kidney. That was a thing of beauty. You know, Felton has been a big add for this team tonight because of how he's been able to move along the perimeter and get those good passes going. So good to see that, and hopefully it's a spark for this offense for the final 20.
This final 20, we'll see the Cyclones take chances. Like we said, getting into the 2nd period, it's now Cincinnati that has to play desperate. You have to imagine we'll see them take chances, but you cannot let it come at the expense of your defense, because Kalamazoo will make you pay.
Yeah, exactly. You want to play aggressive, but not overly aggressive to the point where Kalamazoo can get those odd man rushes, get behind your defenders, and then get those breakaway goals. So that's something that you have to have a fine balance of. Be aggressive, but not overly aggressive, and maybe throw your weight around a little bit and get some body checks going. You mentioned earlier, it was a really good point, how Justin Vibe did that against Toledo. He went headhunting, absolutely obliterated the walleye there. You know, nobody was coming off that ice for Toledo without a body check from Justin Vibe, and then John Jaworski scores, and then you get another goal after that. So sometimes it's those little things that add up and add momentum to the bench. could have some of that. And then next thing you know, Cyclones, they can score 2 goals like they did against Toledo. It's a tie hockey game. So just take it bit by bit, one step at a time, and you can claw your way back into this. You still have 20 minutes to play good hockey.
Well, they do say it's the worst lead in hockey. The Cyclones hoping to find some magic here at Heritage Bank Center. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Hopefully no more figure skating shows break out here, but if they do, we'll have you covered. Stick around for a while. Third period coming up in just a few.
The pups are powered up in the all-new Paw Patrol Live, a mighty adventure. When a supervillain strikes, only one team is pawsome enough to stop them. Join Marshall, Sky, Chase, and some of your favorite pups for an action-packed adventure with singing, dancing, and non-stop fun. Don't miss the Paw Patrol live on stage and mightier than ever.
Playing Heritage Bank Center May 16th and 17th. Tickets are on sale now at pawpatrollive.com.
Where can you turn when you're in pain? Turn where more high school, college, and pro athletes turn. Where your neighbors and weekend warriors turn. Where you'll get immediate access to expert doctors at 25 locations for surgeries, physical therapy, imaging, urgent care, and more. When you're in pain, turn to Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get superior care on your schedule. That's the Beacon difference.
Leanne Morgan, the Time of Our Lives tour.
My children went to a small Christian school in Knoxville, and the girl that worked front desk was Jeannie, who's a good friend of mine. And I dropped my little children off that morning, and I came back that afternoon, and Jeannie saw me walk in, and she grabbed her chest and said, "Oh my gosh, Leanne, how are you walking?" She said, "Maggie said you had surgery today." I said, "Jeannie, I got my IUD replaced."
Live on stage at Heritage Bank Center, December 10th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
How do I love Skyline Chili? Let me count the ways. The Skyline 3-Way's the OG, and still my #1. Then there's the 4-Way with onions or beans. I say, give me both and make it a 5-way. I love Skyline always. Which way are you gonna try Skyline's new chicken chili? On a 3-Way or cheese conies? Maybe a chicken chili chilito or chicken chili cheese fries. There are lots of ways to enjoy Skyline's new chicken chili. Come try it today.
8 minutes to go here in the Cyclones Intermission Report. Let's get it going here with another look around the ECHL.
Thank you, Rudy. Back to Glens Falls, New York. Adirondack Thunder 6 and the Toronto Lions 4. 11:08 to go in that contest. South Carolina Stingrays with a 2-goal advantage against the Savannah Ghost Pirates. 5-3 to score there with 13 minutes to play from beautiful Savannah, Georgia. Norfolk Admirals 1, Greensboro Gargoyles no score. 2:49 left in the third, so the Gargoyles at risk of being shut out in front of their home fans at First Horizon Coliseum. Greenville Swamp Rabbits with a 4-3 edge over the Jacksonville Icemen from Greenville, South Carolina. 7:24 left in that contest. Toledo Walleye with a good show in front of their fans at the Huntington Center. 3-1 against the Wheeling Nailers. 12:26 left in that one. Tied at 1, Reading Royals taking a trip down south to play the Florida Everblades. All tied up at 1 after 2 periods of play. Central Division matchup, Iowa Heartlanders at the Bloomington Bison, with the Bison holding a 1-0 lead, 7.5 left in the second frame. It's the Allen Americans paying a visit against the Wichita Thunder. 3-1 to score in favor of the Americans with 7:43 left in the second frame. Tulsa Oilers 1, Kansas City Mavericks no score. 5:26 left in the second period from Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then this one out west, recently starting 8 minutes into this game. No score, Tahoe Night Monsters at the Rapid City Rush. Those are your scores around the league.
Thank you very much, Jake. And with that, why don't we take a look at what's going around with the affiliate. Why don't you start us off with the Marlies, and then we'll go over and look at the big club, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Sure thing. Last time we saw the Marlies on the ice was 5 days ago. They played on Sunday against the Syracuse Crunch, and the Marlies picking up a 4-1 victory. Toronto Marlies are playoff bound, too, just in case you missed it. They did clinch, so we will be seeing them playing some bonus hockey. Chas Sharp, Alex Nylander, Borja Vallis all scoring, with Nylander scoring a couple goals for his 24th of the season. 4-1 Marlies over the Crunch. And then to cap off the season for the Toronto Maple Leafs, falling to the Ottawa Senators in Ottawa by a 3-1 score. William Nylander scoring the lone goal for Toronto, having a solid season. Nylander, 30 goals for him on the campaign. That is your affiliate. Check it.
Thank you very much, Jake. We wrap up this intermission report by giving you a look at the NHL playoff bracket. We'll run through it very quickly. Take a look at what's going on in the West. The Colorado Avalanche, first seed. They will take on the Los Angeles Kings, who sit on that wild card 2 spot. Dallas Stars will face off against the Minnesota Wild. The Vegas Golden Knights will take on the newest kids on the block, the Utah Mammoth. And the last series in the West, the Edmonton Oilers, will be taking on a different team from California, the Anaheim Ducks, as those are the 2 and 3 seed in the Pacific Division. Take a look at what's cooking up in the East. The Buffalo Sabres will take on the Boston Bruins. Buffalo back in the postseason. It is so fun to just kind of watch what they've been able to do over the last few months. Tampa Bay Lightning and the Montreal Canadiens. We've seen that series a few times. The Carolina Hurricanes will take on the second wild card spot, or seeded, better said, Ottawa Senators. And it is the Battle of Pennsylvania. The Pittsburgh Penguins against the Philadelphia Flyers. Is it one last run for Sidney Crosby, or will it be a new era of Flyers hockey that gets the job done against one of the best? Some great playoff series in store. Cyclones looking to scratch and claw their way back in this game to hopefully get themselves back in that conversation playoff as well. And so with that, we leave you. We'll be back in just a few. The Cincinnati Cyclones trailing by 2, but a late goal in the second period. Hopefully signs of offense to come. We'll be back in just a few. Clones Hockey on the air on FloHockey and the Cyclones Radio Network.
Where can you turn when you're in pain? Turn where more high school, college, and pro athletes turn. Where your neighbors and weekend warriors turn. Where you'll get immediate access to expert doctors at 25 locations for surgeries, physical therapy, imaging, urgent care, and more. When you're in pain, turn to Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get superior care on your schedule. That's the Beacon difference.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Saturday, June 13th, Heritage Bank Center. Journey. Reserved seats are on sale now at JourneyMusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
The good life shouldn't be reserved for the few. The finest cuisine should always be on the menu. And looking good shouldn't just be for the rich and famous. At Meijer, we believe that real life deserves real good, and we work hard to bring more of it. Here, quality meets value, and selection meets savings. So the good life is always within reach. We do more to make life a good deal better. At Meijer.
How do I love Skyline Chili? Let me count the ways. The Skyline 3-Way is the OG, and still my #1. Then there's the 4-Way with onions or beans. I say, give me both and make it a 5-Way. I love Skyline always. Which way are you gonna try Skyline's new chicken chili? On a 3-Way or cheese conies? Maybe a chicken chili chilito or chicken chili cheese fries. There are lots of ways to enjoy Skyline's new chicken chili. Come try it today.
It is the third period here from Heritage Bank Center. Welcome back. Jake, why don't you just kind of preview a little bit of what you want to see out of Cincinnati here in the third period, as we have our very important 20 minutes ahead of us.
Yeah, we do. And well, I would say to start that second period, it was good offense to start off. Good puck movement to find those shooting lanes. I think that's what Cincinnati needs to do. You build off of that goal by Kidney, and you get that next one. So that's the things I'm looking out for. And also for Cincinnati, you got to be playing disciplined defensively and moving the puck well in your own zone. We know Cincinnati had some complications at times in their own zone with turning over the puck. So if you're the Cyclones, take care of the biscuit on your own side, work it up ice, and try to frustrate Kalamazoo if you can to start clawing back into this game.
This crowd is juiced, and they are ready to go. Cyclones living on a prayer here in what is the most important 20 minutes of the season. We said it earlier. If you would have told us at the beginning of the year it was going to come down to this, you take this opportunity 99 times out of 99 times. And so the puck is dropped. The third period is underway. Clones on the offensive side of the ice. Quick shot. Koskinvo steers it aside. Pinching is Johnson to try and keep the play alive. Puck pops free. King shoots. Gloved by Koskinvo.
Good quick release there by Ben King. You had Ryan Kerwin right in front. And this is what you want to see from Cincinnati, getting these early looks. What you didn't want to happen was Kalamazoo get the puck to start off things, dictate the pace of the game. So far, Cincinnati showing that they can establish themselves early with that offense. Need to build upon that throughout the remainder of this third period.
Face-off won and controlled by Cincinnati. Sharp angle try, denied. Puck bounces over to the far boards where Ben King is pressed by Bielik. Now Kerwin. Apologies, Stevens. Now the near side corner, rims it around. King feeds it back to the blue line. Fresh ice for both these teams, and you just saw it there. Looked like the puck checked up there on the defenseman Johnson for a moment. Calls look for the breakout. Johnson, cross ice, just eludes Fontaine. Too hot to handle for the first-year pro. Stretch feed goes all the way down, and it will not be an icing. This one will be, as the puck goes the distance, an icing against Cincinnati.
Look at John Jaworski, somebody that could really help get you back into this game. 4 points over his last 4 games. Seen Jaworski playing some parts of this game with Riom and Fontaine. All of them are guys that can drive you down the ice and get that offense clicking. See them all on the ice right now. Hoping that they can push this offense back over to the Kalamazoo side and get some more looks against Koskinvo.
This is the line that got the Cyclones back in the game in that game against Toledo. Mentioned earlier, John Jaworski. He was the driver. Preston knocks Ludke into Ken Appleby. Laboring is Ludke, but he stays in the play before he gets a chance to get a change. Henry will take his place. He was limping on the bench. Now Riom. Taken away by Lee. Clones pin it along the corner boards, worked up to the blue line. Fanning on the try is Henry. Now Jaworski trying to get past Drasner. He does. Spins over to his forehand. Henry over, one-timer. Shot goes off a shoulder and wide. Was blocked in front, might have got off a Lee. Puck battle near side boards. Clones trying to knock it loose. They do. The bad news is Preston will hoist it up and out. Mentioned earlier, right now the Kalamazoo Wings protecting the lead, not taking any chances, playing on cruise control right now, just trying to limit the mistakes in their zone. As there's a hit along the far boards. Coons a step ahead of Granger. Cuts back, saucers one over, kicks off of Wolf, and Appleby forced to make a save as Connor not exactly making friends with any of the Clones. Sends the rookie Wolf into the cage.
It's quite the tumble there. I mentioned earlier how Pal Connor stirred things up with the Cyclones the last time they played last Sunday. Get another look at it here. Appleby with the save and the net contact. New guy, Mitchell Wolf, crashing into the net, running into Pal Connor. No love lost between these sides. Both teams just trying to pick up any last wins they can to put themselves in a better position for postseason hockey. So a lot on the line. You're going to see that kind of physicality when that's what's at stake.
3 minutes into this third period, Cyclones looking for a chance, and that's a penalty on Connor as down went Kerwin. A holding penalty on Connor, and the Cyclones will have a power play here early on in the third period. As they look for some momentum, here could be their chance.
Yeah, and Connor felt the pressure. He knew that Ryan Kerwin was going to get behind him for a breakaway. So what does he do? Well, he does what you see right here. Yanks him down, and as a result, it's a penalty. Cincinnati goes back onto the power play.
Cincinnati with some promising looks on their last power play. It was their first full-length power play. This will be their second. What do the Cyclones have in store for us? K-Wings start off with a quick clear. The 5 on the ice, Jake Johnson, he has the puck. Gunnar LaFontaine, Ben King, Ryan Kerwin, and Sam Stevens. This is power play 1 for the Clones. Ben King, you just knew he was going to be on the man advantage if given the opportunity. Puck taken away, dug out by the K-Wings. Appleby looks for the stretch pass. He'll get it. King now across the line, knocked down, and another clearance as the K-Wings not giving Cincinnati any kind of space. Johnson drops. Fontaine carries. Through center. Dished over to the near side. Kerwin cuts it back. Feeds Johnson. Clones now trying to set something up here in the O-zone. Fontaine returns the favor. Kerwin now. They give and they go. Fontaine doesn't like what he has. Kerwin forced to kick it up top. One-timer. King shoots. Koskinvold makes the save. Still in the zone. King pressured. Johnson forced to pinch. Sent down low. A chance on the backhand. Score! Sam Stevens on the power play. 3-2.
Another look at it here. Johnson with a good feed right onto the doorstep of the crease. Good read by Johnson, then Stevens able to pot it home. Nice overhead angle. See Stevens setting a screen, and then he gets that look right in front to pull the Cyclones within one. You can tell, looking at the faces on that bench, that they feel like they are definitely in this game, starting to make their comeback.
It is a one-goal game. Barry now on the forehand. He gets sent down to the ice. Looks over at the ref for some help. Pennington exchanges with Preston. Clones trying to knock it loose. Preston now cuts in, slices in, and shoots it wide on another dangerous chance for Kalamazoo, just inches away from making it 4-2. 15 minutes to go in regulation. Clones make it a one-goal game. Lead pass, Kidney now. He shoots. Koskinvold safe. Rebound also denied by Aku Koskinvold. Out to center ice, Smolinski has to wait for Granger to touch up. Clones right back in the offensive zone. Puck is loose between the circles. Clones able to knock it free. Ben King with an assist on that last play, credited as the Clones turn the puck over. Barry over to Preston. He tries to give it back to Barry. Dish back to Pennington. A shot safe made as Appleby saw it the whole way. Here's Nick Guillaume on a solo mission in the offensive zone. Cuts back to try and buy some time, but it was numbers for the K-Wings. They'll go glassing out. Johnson, very patient play, was looking for the dump in, goes off of the linesman. Now Coombs, this crowd, building an excitement, wanting a third. Puck along the far boards. Knocked up to the point, Japshin. Goes off of the stick, and it's Felton, the defenseman, pressuring. He delivers a big hit there along the end wall. This crowd is juiced. Arms stay down. The officials deemed it clean. Puck is under the body of the fallen Kalamazoo wing.
Powell Connor. Yep. Quite a crunch along the end wall there by Felton, laying the lumber, and he's slow to get up.
So everybody goes back to their bench. We will see. You hope Connor is okay, but we have a TV timeout. We'll be back in just a few. 3-2, Clones make it a one-goal game.
Where can you turn when you're in pain? Turn where more high school, college, and pro athletes turn. Where your neighbors and weekend warriors turn. Where you'll get immediate access to expert doctors at 25 locations for surgeries, physical therapy, imaging, urgent care, and more. When you're in pain, turn to Beacon Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get superior care on your schedule. That's the Beacon difference.
Eric Clapton. September 8th. Heritage Bank Center. With special guest, Jimmy Vaughn. Reserved seats are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss the Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Eric Clapton.
Offensive zone draw here for the Cyclones. Take a look at some of the youngster here trying to win the horse race. This is something everybody loves to do, and there's some confusion. Oh my goodness. A photo finish. A look right off the draw. 13:08 on the clock. Cyclones right now out shooting the K-Wings 32-23. Looking for a few more. Season at stake here on home ice. Stevens and Cox. Face off won by Stevens. Kerwin sends it through. Collected by Felton. He spins to shake off Ness, shoots it wide. Now Johnson near side, chips it low. Stevens dishes it over and not able to keep it in the zone as Felton. The Clones are forced to retreat. Now Kerwin on the dump in. Clones will get a defensive change. Bielik on the near side. Cuts back. Dishes a pass, dumped in by Drasner, rimmed around Kidd. Fresh legs on the ice there for Cincinnati as the puck will go all the way down for an icing with 12:27 on the clock.
Yeah, Cincinnati starting to play with a bit more pace to their game. Feel the energy change a little bit in this building between the crowd and the bench, knowing that Cincinnati has scored back-to-back goals after going down 3-0. They could have just laid over, but they haven't. They've been showing some real grit and fight. And Need to do that for the next 12 and a half. They want to keep getting it past Koskenvoe.
Pennington fakes the shot, gets it right back, high slot, nearly fans on the pass, and then his second attempt goes off the skate of Granger. Still, the K-Wings have it down low. Clones with other plans, but it was tracked down by Sackerman, not for long. Kidney to Kidd. Clones through the neutral zone. Preston on the drive-by, takes the puck away. The assistant captain for the K-Wings goes to Pennington. Puck takes a bounce. Poisson now drives. Preston backhand, forehand, blocker save. Appleby. Clones turn on the Jets. Collision down low. Sackerman grabs a hold there of what appeared to be Adam Kidd, and that was the case. Puck rimmed around. Lutke will keep it in the offensive zone. Sent to the middle, but Kidd, broken twig. Didn't even realize it. Granger on the rim around. They look for that same play. Lutke across. Smolinski. He has it. Pinballs to Rayon. Rayon delivers a hit. Poisson. Up and out. K-Wings want fresh legs. Now a turnover. Gontus lead pass. Preston on the tail end of his shift. And a good stick check by Smolinski to break up the look. Jaworski. He's out there. Cuts in. Goes to the far side. Hits the trailer. It's Lutke. He flings one towards the cage. Blocked by Strand. He'll bank it forward for Doherty. 3-on-2, but that's an offside on Gontus. Clones catch a break as the K-Wings had numbers the other way.
They did. Gontus with just an extra step whenever Evan Doherty was carrying it over the blue line. Keyword of the game. Let's hear it, Rudy.
Today's keyword of the game is Quest. Make sure you punch that into your Cyclones app. Get your points and your rewards. If you're just joining us for the first time this year, if you download the Cyclones app, punch in the keyword of the game, you can get some pretty sweet rewards like team merchandise, fan experiences. If you get enough points, you can go down there and do the starting lineup for Coach Wazlowski. I'm not even kidding. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Well, get the app. Type in the keyword of the game.
Quest. Clones. Back in the zone. Kerwin. He flings one. He scores! It took a bounce! It doesn't matter! We're tied! Heritage Bank Center erupts!
Thing of beauty. Great thing about this first line is all three of the forwards have great passing and shooting abilities. See right here with Ryan Kerwin's feet across. And naturally they will review it to see likely if there was a distinct kicking motion or anything like that that would wipe the goal away. Looking at that initial replay, didn't seem like there was any kicking motion at all, but officials will discuss that. And of course, it's ultimately up to them and what they see.
Let's take a look if we have that overhead again. They're going to see if it goes off of Stevens, and if he kicked it in, it appeared to have gone off of Gontus. Yeah, it went off of Gontus.
So Kerwin will get the goal. Initially, I was thinking it was Stevens who deflected it in. But yeah, it goes off that right foot of Gontus. This is going to stand.
It has to stand.
Yeah. Great movement by Kerwin over to the back door. Just look at him right there. And who else but Kerwin making the all-rookie team, Ryan Kerwin, and deservedly so whenever you have a rookie making plays like that in huge moments like this.
The old adage, there is no such thing as a bad shot. Not even sure if you would classify that as a shot. This is a lengthy review.
I mean, to us, it looks pretty clear-cut and obvious. But I'm just wanting to make 100% sure. So officials will continue to discuss this. For Ryan Kerwin, if this stands, this would continue Kerwin's great play against Kalamazoo. This would be his 15th point in 11 games against the K-Wings. If this stands, here's the verdict.
It'll stand. Ten minutes, 33 seconds, 3-3 at Heritage Bank Center. The Clones, with 3 unanswered, have tied this game. Here we go. Puck is dropped. Puck advanced to Okabe. Clones knock it free, fed over to the near side. Bernier receives. Pass was tipped. Now Walker gains a step on Felton. Goes back up to the blue line. Lee steps in, shoots, save is made. It's loose. Felton. Bernier there to support. Goes to the far end. Okabe. K-Wings now looking for a response of their own. Puck stays in play. Johnson with his second assist of the game. A shot from the point, tipped and wide. Bernier picks it up. Clones sail it up and out. No icing as it went off of Walker. Stretch feed to the right wing. Okabe takes a look. Saucers one through. Goes down to the near side corner, trying to kick it away is Kidd. 9.5 to go here in regulation. 3-3. Kidd sends one over to the far end. On the dump in, Kidney chases Pennington. He delivers a big check. Puck bouncing to the top of the far circle. Chipped out by Bielik. Clones play it out. Granger. Over to Kidd. Backhanded deep into the zone. Turnover. Granger has it. Works it back to Ludke. He sends one down, and Kidd has his stick held up by Sackerman. Clones work it down low. Crowd wanted a call. Sackerman drills Kidd and down to the ice. Here come the Clones. Broken stick there. It belongs to Luke Granger. 3-on-3. Bielik. Shot no good. Pennington with space. Carries. Pat save made. It's loose. Bielik up top. Connor across. Bielik with a drive. Appleby says no. Catch your breath. It's going down to the wire. 8:20 to go in the third period, and it is a brand new hockey game. 3-3. We'll be back.
The good life shouldn't be reserved for the few. The finest cuisine should always be on the menu. And looking good shouldn't just be for the rich and famous. At Meijer, we believe that real life deserves real good, and we work hard to bring more of it. Here, quality meets value, and selection meets savings. So the good life is always within reach. We do more to make life a good deal better. At Meijer.
How do I love Skyline Chili? Let me count the ways. The Skyline 3 ways the OG, and still my #1. Then there's the 4-way with onions or beans. I say, give me both and make it a 5-way. I love Skyline always. Which way are you gonna try Skyline's new chicken chili? On a 3-way or cheese conies? Maybe a chicken chili chilito or chicken chili cheese fries. There are lots of ways to enjoy Skyline's new chicken chili. Come try it today.
Cyclones send out their preferred lines as we get the rest of this third period ready to go. 8 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Nick Rayome will do the honors. He'll take the draw against the very dangerous Quinn Preston. Face-off controlled by Cincinnati, despite it being won by Kalamazoo. Now Pennington tries to shake off Nick Rayome. Rayome has other plans. He skates in. A shot just goes wide. They stay onside. Nick Rayome down low, rims it to Felton. Felton sends it down low. Gunnar will Fontaine a pass. Jaworski shoots, and that's denied by Koskinvoh. Clones putting more pressure on. It's Jaworski. Tied up is Rayom. Down goes Preston. Puck played out to the right wing. Pennington carries to the near side. Poisson, he skates in and shoots. Felton breaks his stick, but he sacrifices to make the play. 7.5 to go. Preston on the rim around, bouncing puck. Johnson settles it down and goes to Jaworski. Boards and out. Fontaine trying to settle it. Dumped in by Jaworski. The Clones will change. Puck sent through. Ludke kicks it forward. Drasner will settle it down. K-Wings feeling the pressure, but now they have it. Coons with space, skates in down the near side. Getting back to his defensive assignment with Smolinski. Look out, here's Walker, but a good poke from Stevens to break up the chance. To the middle, Coons. Clones swarm that puck. To the final 6:45 we go. Jaden Lee sends it low. Coons again, trying to settle it down. Walker has it for Kalamazoo. A shot loose in front. The rebound scores. Okabe with 6:34 gives the K-Wings the lead.
They're in front. And just lucky for Kalamazoo that this puck ends up getting free. Just moved over to Okabe to the back door. Wide open net in front of them. And Kalamazoo's able to take their lead back.
A heartbreaking bounce in front there for the Cyclones. They fight to keep their season alive again. They trail 4-3, 6.5 to go. Granger, he shoots, tipped, and it just goes wide. Japshin. Puck up and out. Ryan Cox advanced forward. It's Griffin Ness all by his lonesome in the corner. Johnson takes the space away, but the K-Wings take the puck away. Now Japshin feeds it over. Banked off the end boards. Clones repossess. To the final 6 we go. Felton. Pass tip, bouncing around. Koskinvoh gets his body in front of it. Now Rayom. Clones working around in their own zone. Smolinski goes over to his D partner in Ludke. Fed to the middle, Nick Rayom. On the backhand, trying to connect there with Jaworski. Puck was played by a high stick, but it's canceled as it was touched by Smolinski. Now Preston shoots, stick save, Appleby up in the air. Ludke. Tipped up by Fontaine, takes a ride along the glass. Backhanded over to Sackerman. Puck fed forward. Okabe closed out of space there by Henry. Now it goes to the near side. King. It was tipped by Henry despite Kerwin having some space, and the Clones are offside. 4:46 to go. Clones. They had 3 unanswered. The K-Wings responded. Can the Clones do it again? Only one way to find out. Stick around.
This is just not what we say. It's what we do.
For 10 years, you've trusted us to do it right. This is only the beginning. We drive peace of mind.
We're still Kelsey, just even more us.
Come see it for yourself.
When things heat up, you don't just want a cold one. You want the coldest one. The cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged one. Mountain Cold Refreshment. Coors Light. choose chill.
Donato's thin crust, legendary. But here's another great crust and one amazingly good deal. Now get a large hand-tossed pizza for just $9.99. Seriously, just $9.99. Donato's, gotta love more.
It has been a back and forth game here at Heritage Bank Center. 4:46 to go. Cyclones fighting to keep their season alive. Clones back in the zone. Here's a chance. Fed over to King, who shoots. Glove save. Koskin-Vlo. Nearly the fourth there. Ben King denied.
Yeah, I mean, I loved how Cincinnati made that quick read on the turnover at the blue line. Everybody pressed forward real quick, and Ben King was able to get a nice shot on Koskin-Vlo, but he lunges forward and gets the trapper on it, makes a nice save.
Sackerman rims it around Bielik, not able to settle it down. Dumped in either way by Kalamazoo. Ken Appleby will settle it down himself. Now Johnson takes the check. Clones trying to chip it out. Pennington keeps the play alive. Blocked though. Now a pass to Ryan Kerwin. Across the blue, hit the trailer. Felton, he shoots. Kick save made. Banked up to Felton. 4 minutes to go. Stevens backhanded over. Goes down low. King swipes at it. Knocked free to the corner. King now on the rim around. Clones trying to set up shop here with 3:44 to go. King centers a chance. Kerwin shoots. Just trickles wide. Fought off by Koskin-Vlo. Sailed up and out. Dumped down by Ness. To the final 3.5 we go. Luke Granger leads the way. Dangles through. Bouncing puck. Kidd loses it. Now Ludke keeps the play alive and shoots. Koskin-Vlo with the save. Puck banked off the near side. Smolinski settles it down. Now Granger kicked up to Ludke. 3 minutes to go. Tipped. No good. Smolinski centers. Shot. Rebound. Scores! Would you believe it? They tie it again! First try, no good. Second time was true. Luke Granger, when they needed him most, it's 4-4. What a game. What a hockey game. Bouncing puck goes over to Fontaine. Centered, it's Rayom. Rayom, quick shot, glove save. Koskin-Vlo holds on. 2:43 on the clock.
Love the game and ready to inspire the next generation of players. The Junior Cyclones are looking for great coaches and leaders to join the program. Scan the QR code to get started and learn more. And make plans to join us for our fan appreciation matinee tomorrow featuring $2 hot dog soda and beer.
An offensive zone draw here for the Cincinnati Cyclones. They look to the line of Rayom, Jaworski, and Fontaine. The two defensemen, Ludke and Smolinski. Clones win the draw. Smolinski flings one towards the net. It's up in the air between the circles. Tracked down and sent forward. Puck will go all the way down, but no icing. Coons first to it. Clones knock it free. Smolinski pressured there by Walker. Puck pops free. Coons over. High slot. Puck goes untouched over to the near side. Jaworski carries the mail, gets it out. Puck tipped forward. 2 minutes to go. 4-4 here in downtown Cincinnati. An instant classic between the K-Wings and the Clones. Kerwin feeds it over. Stevens rims it around. Felton receives. Drives down the right wing. Gets some separation, goes up top. King with a blast. It's blocked. And numbers here for the K-Wings. It's Ness. Goes back to Bielik. Clones pressure. Intercepted. Johnson, lead pass. Kerwin, right wing. He shoots. Save made. Koskin-Vlo with 90 seconds to play. You like that shot there from Ryan Kerwin. Trying to switch up the angle. That is the modern shot to a T. You get a look here. Tries to switch the angle on that right wing. Koskin-Vlo, though, because he didn't have the backdoor feed, he knew that that was taken away by the defense. He was able to aggressively come out and take away the angle. To the final 90 we go. Puck goes all the way down, no icing. Collision. Clones look for the breakout. Pass intercepted. Over the near side, Poisson. Preston. Now kicked up to the point. Shot from distance goes well wide. Clones can't clear. Lucky. 1 minute to go here in this third and final period. Now Coons can't touch up on it, and Preston jumps. Smolinski. With 49.7 to play, we'll see if they send both. It appears they will. So Smolinski goes to the box, so will Preston. So 4-on-4 to close out regulation. Neutral zone face-off. Face-off won by Kalamazoo, 45 seconds to play. Pennington over to Coons. To the near side, good hit there by Felton to break up that chance. Clones lead the way. Gunnar LaFontaine with half a minute to go. This crowd rises. Fontaine breaks through, looks to center. No good. Fed back to Lutke. 20 seconds to go in regulation. Puck taken away, a 2-on-1. Coons on the near side. He skates in and shoots. He scores. A dagger, a heartbreaker with 14.6 on the clock. Jackson Coons makes it 5-4 Kalamazoo. Cincinnati will take their timeout. Heartbreaking, stunned silence at Heritage Bank Center. Clones are going to go for the Hail Mary. Net is empty. 5-on-4 for 14.6. They win the draw, goes all the way back. 10 seconds to go. Clones take a look at the clock. Fed over to the left wing. Stevens, quick shot. Koskinvol will play it. And that is going to do. The Cyclones marched back in this game and gave themselves a chance. But an unfortunate bounce led to a 2-on-1. Jackson Coons with his 11th of the year seals the fate of the Cincinnati Cyclones. Regulation loss all but confirms it. Three stars of the game. Third star, Colin Bielik. Second star is Zach Okabe. And the first star of the game with the game winner, Jackson Coons. Clones will conclude their regular season tomorrow against the K-Wings here at Heritage Bank Center, 4 p.m. puck drop. This one is going to take a while to get over. On behalf of our entire crew, we hope you'll join us tomorrow for Fan Appreciation Matinee, $2 hot dogs, sodas, and beers, as the Clones will wrap up their 2025-26 campaign with one more meeting against the K-Wings here in this building for the last time in the regular season. On behalf of our crew, on behalf of Jake Irwin, I am Rudy Hodgson signing off for now. We will see you tomorrow afternoon. Clones fall 5-4. A heartbreaker here at Heritage Bank Center. We'll see you again tomorrow as the Clones try to close out the regular season on a high note. We'll see you then. Signing off for now.